Hey mommies, how are you? How's everyone doing? I hope that everyone is doing fine. And I wanted to welcome you to this Facebook Live for Mommy's Love and talk to you about something that is pretty interesting, which is nipple twiddling. And you may be like, oh my God, what the heck is that? Well, it's actually really common. And it's when toddlers, basically they're nursing. And what they do is, it usually happens with toddlers or like older babies, like after they're like 6 months. And what they do is they twiddle with their fingers with the other nipple or the other breast. And it's very common. You see it all the time. Moms like maybe complaining about it. Some moms don't care about it. But I get a lot of moms asking me why that happens and that they find it really annoying, that how do they stop the baby from doing that they, that if they try to stop the baby, that it disrupts their nursing session and they get really mad or they start to do tantrums. But then what I hear the most really is that basically what happens is that when they're out in public, it becomes a problem because you don't want your baby lifting your top up all over the place and trying to play with your nipples and stuff like that. And it's really normal for the baby to do that. There's nothing wrong with your baby if they're doing that. It's completely normal. Let me take this off to see if he gets a little bit distracted. So basically, what it comes down to, why babies do that or why toddlers do that, it's really something to do with comfort and with being soothed. So what usually happens is when a baby is really young, like when they're at the newborn stage, like from 0 to 6 months, all they do really is like nurse, sleep, poop, peep, and that's pretty much it. And what they enjoy doing the most is probably nursing. So they really concentrate on the like nursing session. And that's all they're doing. But once they start to smile and start to do gestures and babble and things like that, they become more sociable. So they become more intrigued with their surroundings. And one of those very close surroundings is your nipple from the one that they're not nursing. So a lot of them pick up the habit of starting to twiddle with your nipples. And, you kind of just let it go, whatever. And then over time, it just becomes kind of like a habit and it becomes like a comfort to them. So it can become annoying for some moms. For some moms, it doesn't. What do you moms think? I haven't really had that issue. I've actually found the issue that both of my babies, they seem, one of my boys actually, he twiddles with his belly button. And that's his comfort. And what usually happens is with those type of comfort things like twiddling and things like that, it doesn't just have to be with your nipple. It can be with your hair or scratching. Maybe your baby scratches you or tries to poke your nose, your eye, put fingers in your mouth. So they do all sorts of different things. But probably the nipple twiddling is one of the ones that I see moms like they have a problem with that. So that's why I wanted to bring it across and just kind of give you a few little tips on how to handle it. Maybe you don't care, you're fine with it, so that's super cool, that's awesome, because it's something, that maybe your baby finds comfort in, so it's a cool thing. I really think that that's fine. I personally could not stand it because I just would find it so annoying. Isaac really pulls on my hair a lot and I find that really annoying. So what I wanted to, if he stroked me nicely, it would be awesome, but he doesn't. He like yanks at my hair and then I see his hand and it's full of my hairs. So basically some of the things you can do, or little tips that I can give you, is first of all, start to establish like nursing manners, as I call them, or breastfeeding rules, which is basically kind of like setting boundaries, because at the end of the day, it's your body. And just like you wouldn't have your kid picking up like candy at the store and shoving it in his mouth and stuff like that, or if someone offered something that they would just grab it. So I think it's really cool to establish like breastfeeding manners. And that basically is like, start to, from a young age, start to call your boobs or your breasts, whatever you want, like a word that is key for you. So like for me, it's like la teta, because I'm Hispanic. So that's what I would use. Maybe you don't want to use that. Maybe you want to use titi or boobie or whatever, or tatas, whatever you find that is a cool word that can be kind of key for you and your baby. So start to teach your baby that that's when the nursing session is going to start, or that's when they want milk. And then start to kind of establish that they have to ask you for it, ask you for the boobie or whatever that they want, not just like pull at your shirt and tug and that's it. You know, I would establish those rules, because as you progress with breastfeeding and with nursing, they're going to get older. So if you don't start to kind of incorporate it as soon as you can, it's never too late to start doing it. Then as they get older, they're going to know that, you know, if you guys are out in public and you're at, you know, the supermarket line, that it's not just like, come over here, give me your boob, I want to feed it, I'm thirsty, you know. No, that they have to learn to wait for it, that it's not always when they demand it. And that's going to be good, like really good for other things in life. And as they go into like preschool or daycare or whatever, it starts to set some boundaries. So I would just really say that. And then the other thing is, like, when they're doing whatever behavior you don't want them to do, whether it's nipple twiddling or tucking at your hair or lifting your shirt up or kicking you as well. One of mine grabs his foot and he's like this all over the place. So if you have that too, just babies don't really understand yes and no and things like that, but they do understand verbal manners. So if you kind of like pull away the hand from whatever they're doing and say, you know, this is not what you want, redirect their hand or whatever that they're doing to something else. So like one of these, like a teething necklace, or like the necklace, the silicone teething necklaces that you can buy at the stores to wear, or maybe you have a wrist one, or a soft blanket, or a teddy bear, something like that. Whatever you want, that, like, if it's something like that they tug at your hair, I would choose a texture that's similar to hair. So like a blanket or a teddy bear. If it's your nipple or something else, or like at your chest, that they start to do this at your chest, like twiddling with your chest, then I would choose one of these type of silicone or rubber type of toys, or a teething ring, or anything like that. So that you, or maybe even redirect their hand at themselves. So like I said, like with Samuel, my son, he likes to like twiddle with his belly button. So that's fine. You can put your own hand in your own belly button, and that's cool. Or maybe to, instead of like twitching and scratching, you show them how to, you know, stroke you very gently. So you redirect the behavior from being like aggressive and, you know, and hurting you to that, and explain why you're doing it. Say, no, baby, you know, this is gonna hurt mommy. Gentle with mommy, nice with mommy. Mommy loves you. Things like that, and the tone in which you say things also makes a big difference. So if you're trying to be stern to show that the behavior like is not acceptable, you know, talk in a stern voice. If you want the baby to be less aggressive and more gentle, then, you know, gentle your voice. So just kind of go on cue with whatever the situation is. And kind of like learn that it's going to take a process. Babies, I mean, they're very intelligent, but they're not going to learn it overnight. So you need to kind of establish this rule slowly, and the earlier you do it, the better it is. Like I said, I don't have any problems with the nipple twiddling, but I know a lot of moms that do, and it can be like really uncomfortable and annoying. And especially as they get older, you know, they get more like stronger and stuff, so they can really yank at your nipples, so it can be really painful. So like I said, some moms really don't care and it doesn't matter to them. But I did want to bring it up because I have that question come up a lot about the nipple twiddling, but it's completely normal and it's fine. Don't let anybody tell you that like your child is going to be traumatized later on, or they're going to be like obsessed with nipples or something like that. No, that's crazy. It's something completely normal, and you'll probably see that your baby does it more when they're like overtired or they're sleepy, because it's like a soothing mechanism. It's like a comfort thing. So it's completely normal. Okay, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And like I said, if you don't find it comfortable, then you can try redirecting that attention to something else. Usually it's because, like I said, they're trying to do, like nursing is not like really entertaining anymore or fun anymore. So they try to look for other things to distract them, and that's why they do that. So redirecting their attention to something else is kind of the key way to do it, okay? So just wanted to do that, and ask any moms that are out there. I know there's a few of you on the feed there. Say hi. If there's any moms out there that have struggled with this, or how have you been able to overcome it, or do you have any tips about it, or do you just not mind? And especially the breastfeeding nursing rules, I really didn't do that so much with Samuel, but I'm starting to do it a little bit with Isaac, just because sometimes you know, he gets a little bit impatient, or you know, or he just really wants to pull my hair or eat my hair while he's nursing at the same time. So I'm trying to establish those rules, and I think it's really cool and really important, especially if you're thinking of doing like extended breastfeeding, so that you start to establish rules as the baby gets older, so that they understand it and they don't demand your boobs and they think that they're theirs, because at the end of the day they're yours. It's kind of good to establish rules and body, how do I say, boundaries. So just wanted to bring that across. Please share any comments that you have regarding that. And take care, mommies. Bye.